you know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. And of course, you have seen the title. Now, what I'm going to do has become customary for these videos that I put up on YouTube is I'm going to give a politically correct rant surrounding this dust up that took place, I believe, in South Carolina. And I'm going to also touch upon Black Lives Matter and the one founder, the heifer, buying the expensive home. I'm going to give a politically correct rant on these two topics, but I'm going to go more in detail in the rabbit hole production, particularly dealing with this dust up between this black male and this white guy. And I'm going to explain to y'all why that is. When this incident first went viral, I'm looking at all the videos from the usual suspects here in y'all's Negro sector of YouTube. The Cynthia G's, the Negro woman sphere, just to name a couple. And what I noticed about their videos is that they left out the crucial element in the entire viral video. And that was that the black guy is clearly, I don't want to say not all there, but for lack of a better term, let's just say he was, according to the sheriff's department, the reason why he was behaving the way he was due to some kind of a medical issue. And I'm being completely politically correct here. So we know that this guy is not all there. We know that he's on some form of psychiatric medication. We know this. This is the reason why he was approaching neighbors in that community. Clearly, he had not taken his meds. This is the reason why I reiterate, if you allow me to digress, I tell you black men and some of you black women, take your medication. Y'all need it. I've been very clear on this. You need that psychiatric medication because if you take it and it's the proper dosage, that medication will stop you from doing dumb shit. But yet and still, regardless to the fact that clearly this guy is on some kind of medication, he's not taking his medication, he's acting in a strange way. We get videos from the usual suspects who somehow blame black men as if all black men were negative. All of a sudden, this one Negro becomes a complete representation of black masculinity. And they exclude the fact that the guy is not all there. He's clearly on some kind of psychiatric medication, but that doesn't matter to them. They want to bash black men, so they use this as an opportunity. See, look at how weak black men are. Why in the Negro Woman Sphere video, she even made reference to the fact that the white dude, that's an example of manhood. And I'm listening to her video and I'm thinking to myself, see, this is the reason why she's single. This is the reason why a lot of them are single, because if you're going to call this, what that white dude did, manhood, an example of a man, then we can logically conclude, based upon your own statement, you don't know what a man is. Which is one of the major reasons why you don't have one. You don't know what it is. You don't know what black manhood is. You don't know what manhood is. To blow down on a guy who you outweigh by over 100 pounds, a guy that when you stand, he has to look up at you. And you can clearly see by his mannerisms, he's not looking for no confrontation. So for you to blow down on him and quote unquote punk him, that's not being no man. That's not an example of manhood. Manhood would be you doing that to a guy who can look you eyeball to eyeball, a guy who is big as you are. If you do that to them, then I give you some props. But if you're doing that to somebody that you outweigh over 100 pounds, and you can clearly see this dude ain't interested in no kind of physical confrontation, but yet you insist, that's not that. But yet, according to the black female now, because again, we know that they don't know what manhood is. And so they classify this as being a man because they want to take an opportunity to bash black men, as if all black men would have stood there and allowed that white dude to walk up on him. I mean, come on now, stop. Stop. I mean, the first thing you're going to tell him is do not walk up on me. Don't walk up on me. You can say whatever you have to say, but say it over there. Now, if you insist on walking up on me, when you get close enough, it is what it is. That's how we're going to go out. That's how the majority of black men will deal with that. You can say what you have to say, but say it from over there. You're not going to get up in my face. And you most certainly aren't going to get up in my face and push. You're not going to get close enough to push me. So the fact that we see that he allows this dude to get all up in his face and to push him, we know he ain't interested in no confrontation. Plus, the dude ain't taking his medication. But the weird thing that I'm going to address in the whole, I'm not going to get into it here. I'm going to deal with this in the whole. Because this is really what lets you know that those videos are propaganda. They're pushing a narrative about black men, about black masculinity. And the reason why we know that it's propaganda is because they exclude the crucial point of the whole dust up. This dude is in need of, he needs to take his medication. He needs to take his meds. And this is what's really weird. What's really weird is you have a group of women who boy. You have a group of women who are the textbook example and definition of mental illness, but yet they can't spot mental illness in another person who's suffering from that same disease. That's just ironic to me. That's ironic to me that you have a Negro woman sphere suggesting that this white dude is, and we know why. I mean, come on, let's not even pretend like we don't know why this is. We know why she's saying he's a textbook definition of manhood. We know why. We know why that's being said. What's weird is that she will say that and then go sit on panels with hoteps and pro-blacks. And not one of those pro-blacks and hoteps will call her out on that rhetoric. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that Cynthia G, and I told y'all, I really believe that she will not admit this to me. She won't admit this in a video, but I believe when she gets with her girls behind the scenes, she probably chuckles and laughs with them. I believe she gets aroused. sitting on those panels with those black first hoteps talking about black men, and those black men are dumb enough to think, hey, she ain't talking about me. No, Negro, she's talking about you too. Dummy. And I guarantee that gets her aroused, man. Cynthia G gets aroused. The fact that these niggas are really this dumb. They gonna let me talk about black men, and they have concocted somewhere in the corridors of their mind, she ain't talking about me. These niggas, man, you're just dumb. And then what they fail to address, and I told you I'm just ranting. I'm ranting in this video. I won't deal with this part here in the whole. The crucial part that they don't want to address when it comes down to these black men that they complain about. I'm telling y'all, man, this is the nail in the coffin. If they answer this question, I will go away. They won't answer it. And if you wonder what that question is, you know what it is, second nature like breathing. You're going to have to send me an email. I'm going to have to send you the link. Because I'm going to address this. And what they don't want to say about this dude in that viral video, what they don't want to say about him, I'm going to say it in the whole. You know what it is, second nature like breathing. You want to send me an email, I'll send you the link. Now, the other thing that got me upset, well, it hadn't really had me upset, had me disturbed. I'm looking at all these videos from black men. And you see the title of the video, that's where this comes in. You've seen all these videos dealing with that black female, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, and the home that she purchased. And I'm looking at the response from black men. I'm listening to Candace Owens, you know, One Trick Pony, you know, the Brandon Tatums, those minstrels. You know, we know what side they're gonna take, and this is the opportunity for them to regurgitate white talking points. So I'm listening to them, and I'm listening to black men. And what bothers me is that y'all still don't get it. Y'all, I mean, what? And I'm gonna be nice here, but I'm gonna deal with it more down the center of the plate and the whole. What part of this don't y'all get? When Black Lives Matter was started as an organization, after the acquittal of George Zimmerman, one of those black females sent out a tweet on Twitter with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. That tweet went viral. And from that tweet, the three sisters took it and parlayed that into an organization that was then, and still is now, bankrolled by one George Soros. And back then, y'all remember, we were asking the questions, how is it that Black Lives Matter, which is a fledgling organization, a new organization, how is it that they're able to show up in these different states, these different cities, these different towns, stay in plush hotels, able to ride around, able to eat, how is it that they're able to pull this off if this is a new organization? Well, we know how, because they were being bankrolled by George Soros. And that prompted me back then to ask the question to Black Lives Matter. When does a black life have a value? If y'all follow my videos, y'all remember this. I told y'all, when does a black life have a value? When that black life is taken by a white cop or a white person. It is at that time and that time only that person, that black male's life is worthy of protesting and rallies and looting. Because as long as it's skillet gunning down ham bone over a bright yellow gumball, a pair of Air Jordan tennis shoes, a Madden playoff game or some big buck heifer, as long as it's that taking place, it's just who cares? And that has been the major gripe that I have with Black Lives Matter. I told y'all there's a difference between theory and practice. In theory, yes, I agree with Black Lives Matter. As a black male, yes, I agree that Black Lives matter. But I disagree with them in practice. But yet it's still knowing that this organization was founded by 3 lesbian sisters. It comes as no surprise that they're heavily involved in transgender and gay issues. That comes as no surprise. Nor does it come as any surprise that they're using the deaths of these black men to stand upon, to shout and build their organization. And not only to shout and build their organization, but to receive donations. I told y'all, listen, man, you black men, y'all better start realizing this. You are better off dead. You have more value in death than you do in life to them. I mean, I don't know what y'all don't get. I mean, I really don't understand why y'all are surprised that that was able to buy that home that she bought when you take into consideration all those women. Y'all remember those women? All of them that they carted out. I think it was when Hillary was running, and they had all those women, Trayvon Martin's mom, Tamir Rice's mom, Freddie Gray. I mean, they carted all those women out on the stage, all those heifers. And every last one of those black females who stood at that DNC convention and stood on that stage had reached and had received a cash settlement from their spouse, their son being killed. They have received a disclosed amount of money. It's the new stimulus, y'all. I mean, what part of this y'all get? This is the new stimulus that's coming out. All you need to do is deal with a dysfunctional Negro. A Negro who you know is going to be melodramatic, a Negro who you know is not going to follow authority, a Negro who's going to try to stand there and argue with a cop when he has a loaded weapon pointed at him. He still want to stand there and argue. That's what you get for being raised by this woman. Because the man that you're going to tell you this, now it's time for me to get my ass on the ground. Now it's time for me to comply. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all not going to like this. I know y'all not going to like it. But goddamn it, it don't make me no difference. This news event that just took place, that everybody's writing about now, where the cop makes a mistake. And I've asked brothers this. We've held conversations, and these brothers, they talking about it. They some of them get upset when I ask the logical question. Wait a minute, man. I mean, we got to be fair, man. We have to be fair and balanced. Yes, we can question, he's a cop. She's a veteran. She's not only a veteran, but she's a trainer. She made a mistake. How do you make that mistake? I don't know. But now we can deal with that, and we can enjoy dealing with that aspect. But the other aspect that black people do not want to address. Why was Dante driving with an active warrant? I mean, he knew he had a warrant. So, dude, guy, listen, man, you have an active warrant. So, for one, you shouldn't have been driving. That's number one. Why? Because I don't want to get stopped by the cops. Because if the cops stop me and they run me, I got this warrant open. So I'm not driving. I'll ride this bike. No, he's driving. He gets stopped. Now, they say an air freshener. We don't get y'all buy that. I got a bridge in Brooklyn, so they ain't stopped that dude for no air freshener. They stopped him because they ran his plates and they realized this dude got a warrant. We gotta have a reason for stopping him, so we won't complain about this air freshener. Oh, by the way, let's run you. See, which they already knew. So it's at that point you just say, look, y'all got me. I'm going, y'all got me. The tension comes with them hanging. Y'all got me. Let me go and get this one taken care of. No, he wants to leave and go get back in the car. No, dude, you can't leave now, guy. Any sworn officer, once they run you and find out you have a warrant, is obligated to take you into custody, Negro. I mean, what part of this don't y'all get? But for some odd reason, y'all want to exclude that. Y'all don't want to deal with that. That's just swept under the rug. Now, I know there's going to be some of y'all who's on the short bus is going to say, well, that's no justification for him being killed. Of course not. That's not what we're saying. Of course it's not justification. But now, one has something to do with the other, because if he didn't have the warrant and they wanted to stop him for air freshener, yeah, you write me a ticket. Why do you want me out of the car for that? No, we want you out of the car because you have a warrant, guy. But for some odd reason, y'all just don't want to deal with that. And now they're out protesting. They're generating this money. They're making money off of y'all. Why? Because you black male, you have more value in death than you do in life. And his mama, she gonna get paid. She about to get her stimulus check too. And I ain't talking about that one because of this COVID. So you don't want to let me chill, because you don't. I think I might have actually said too much. I might. Y'all got me thinking. Let me take a sip of this, man. Y'all got me thinking I'm in the hole, man. But I told y'all this. I don't understand why y'all surprised that people benefit off of your misery. I mean, listen, man, call the roll. I mean, y'all, if y'all want to get mad at this black woman for building or buying that home, have y'all seen T.D. Jakes' home? Have y'all seen, and y'all knew I was coming here, have y'all seen Creflo Dollar, one of Creflo Dollar's houses? I mean, are y'all serious? Y'all, I mean, have you seen Jesse and Al, who are the masters at manipulating and getting rich off of y'all's misery? They've been doing it for years. This is nothing new. This is an old play, man. Look, man, what that woman did by buying that house off of the backs of these fallen black men. Y'all remember what did the guy in New York selling the loose cigarettes? I can't breathe. What is his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. His name escapes me at the moment. His wife, after his death, she went on the morning political talk shows. Some of y'all may remember this. I done a video on it. And his wife sat on those Sunday morning political talk shows, and she called that dude a bum. She said my husband was lazy. She basically said he was a dusty. She didn't call him that because that term wasn't popularized back then, but she did call him lazy. She did say he didn't want to work. And then after she left those political talk shows bashing that dude, she went out and accepted that cash settlement, that stimulus, quote unquote. Trayvon Martin's mom did it. Michael Brown's mom did it. This health here did it. Dante Rice's mom is gonna get a check. See, nigga, you have more value in death than you do in life to them. Hey, this should come no surprise to y'all, man. I've been telling y'all this. When does a black life have a value? When that black life is taken, now it has to be taken by a white cop or a white person. That is the criteria. That is the criteria. You have to. It's a prerequisite. It's a prerequisite. I mean, listen. You can't go off into college. Whatever degree you get, you have a math requirement, and you're required to take algebra 1, algebra 2. and you schedule for algebra 2, and they're gonna look at your schedule and they're gonna say, wait a minute, nigga, you ain't even take algebra 1 yet. The prerequisite for taking 2 is to pass 1. What the hell are you signing up for 2 for? You haven't even taken 1. It's a prerequisite. It is a requirement. Likewise, it is a requirement for your life as a black male in America to have value, is to have that life taken by a white cop or a white person. Other than that, you just another nigga dead. You know what? Let me stop. Let me stop. That's too much. You know what? I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all. Hey, look. let me go and wrap this video up. I'm gonna deal with it in the whole. I'm gonna deal with the South Carolina piece, which y'all don't want to discuss, about the brother who needed his medication. I'm gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna go straight down the center of the plate with this helper who brought the house from Black Lives Matter. And I'm gonna deal more detail than I did here, because I can't give y'all too much here, because they're gonna just shadow ban the video. They're gonna slow down the views. They're gonna turn back. You know what they do here on YouTube. It is what it is. So, you know, you want those unedited, unscripted versions. You know what it is. Second nature like breathing. Get me an email. I'll get you the link. And I think I gave y'all too much. But at the end of the day,